Good morning and welcome to Super Sunday, the Final Four here on the FIVB Beach Volleyball World Tour. It is Sunday the 10th of March. You are in Manly, Sydney, and we're about to get underway with women's semi-final number one in what will be an absolutely enthralling match. The hometown underdogs, Laird and Palmer from Australia, up against one of the all-time greats of our sport in Kerry Walsh-Jennings and her partner Brooke Sweat. We are underway here, grooming the court. This beautiful part of the world. Look at this harbour. Good morning and welcome. My name is Jonathan Fogarty. Joining me as we fly over Sydney, Kerry Potas. Kerry, this is a remarkable part of the world.
It certainly is, and how lucky are we to be living here, and how lucky are the world beach volleyball players to be experiencing the beauty of Sydney, the Opera House, the bridge in the background, the nightlife. There's so much happening in Sydney all year round, and obviously we're in the last few days of summer right now, and these players are enjoying our sands here at Manly Beach.
Absolutely they are. We are licking our lips on the prospect of this one. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Conditions are pretty benign. There's no real breeze to speak of. The air temperature is pretty reasonable, mid-20s. You can see the skies. They're a little bit grey, but the beach volleyball will be absolutely sparkling. Of that I have no doubt. The athletes, that's not one of them. That's Spiky. Introducing the athletes out on the court, Kerry Walsh-Jennings, her partner Brooke Sweat. They were seeded 6 for this weekend, up against a team from Australia that has surprised everyone, Kerry, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Nikki Laird and Bakara from Australia coming together just recently. In the last few months, Bakara Palmer coming out of retirement. She left the sport of beach volleyball shortly just to try her hand or her foot at Australian rules football. Came back with Nikki Laird, and look at this, they're in the semi-final. Here they come out on the sand. There's Bakara Palmer, Olympian from 2012, played there with Louise Borden, and she's looking to perhaps make her way to Tokyo next year. With this woman here, Nikki Laird, 6'3", Nikki's home beach. Her family's all here watching her, and they'll be excited to play this match.
It'll be interesting to see how the Aussie girls play. The rankest of underdogs, surely. They are ranked something like 387 in the world. This is only their second tournament together, and they're up against a lady with an Olympic resume like Kerry Walsh-Jennings and her new and fascinating partner in Brooke Sweat. So we are underway. Aussies right of screen. Starting the match. Women's semi-final number one. The winner through to the gold medal match. Defense early from Palmer. They can't get that ball back into play. So interesting to see what the Australian approach to this match and the USA approach. They'll probably have selected a target for their offense. We'll see if Brooke Sweat shows her hand early. Who are they going to go at today?
Easy dig for Brooke Sweat. Great hands over the net. Nikki Laird should be looking for a lot of blocks today. She's matching it up height-wise with Kerry Walsh. They're both 6'3", and they'll both be looking to get a lot of blocks.
And I get the impression with Nikki Laird, she's the sort of athlete that thrives on her own self-confidence. If she gets a couple of good plays like that early, she could really light up and really settle into the match well. So we'll see if that's a sign of more good blocking action, as you say. But certainly interesting, the two teams. You've got the two taller athletes. Kerry Walsh is 6'3", Nikki Laird is 6'3", then Bakara 6, and Brooke Sweat at 5'8" is the youngest out there. But two distinguished blockers, two players are going to do all the blocking, and two athletes that are going to do all the defence. And there's that competition between Nikki and Kerry at the net that we're looking forward to. So Bakara Palmer now going back to serve. First set action. Women's semi-final. The final four underway here on Manly Beach. USA in the blue, Team Australia in the yellow. The roll shot from Kerry Walsh. She's played that shot before, I think.
Well, obviously we know she's been out on this beach for a long time. Not this beach, but the beaches of the world. The World Beach Volleyball Tour. Before that, she played indoor for the national team. She actually played here back in 2000, the last time she was here in Australia, and she was representing the United States at indoor volleyball at the Olympics. And then since then, she's been on the beach and at every Olympics since. And she's obviously picked up her 3 gold medals with her partner from those games, Misty May, and then a bronze medal in the last Olympics in Rio.
The block from Kerry was pretty good. Bakara's going to have to turn and burn. Oh, well, that is delightful. She's got her back to the net, pivots full 180 and somehow drops it in front of the retreating American athletes. So a really solid start, both teams. 4-3, dare I say, the underdog Australian combination not appearing to be too overawed by the calibre of their opposition in the semi-final.
Look, I wouldn't think so. We've talked about Kerry being such a legend of the sport. She's been on the sand for so many years. Her partner, Brooke Sweat, not as much experience out there. Serve straight at Kerry. Nikki's taking her on. Kerry just looks for that side hit. She's got great vision. She's also got the power in her arm. She's had 6 shoulder surgeries.
My goodness.
6 surgeries on that shoulder, but it's working better than ever, she tells me. Why wouldn't she? She wouldn't tell me otherwise.
No, you athletes, you can never give too much away. That second ball read block was very good by Kerry. And they're going to have to be awake to the kind of those sort of crafty shots from Bakara Palmer, aren't they?
Absolutely. And the funny thing was, just a couple of months ago, Bakara was in the United States and played in the P1440 with Kerry Walsh and a few other Americans. So Kerry and Bakara know each other quite well. Another block from Kerry Walsh there.
Back to back, so that's going to lift her confidence. Not that she needs any confidence lifting, I'm sure. But 6-4 now, the USA 6-seeded combination for this event up against the qualifiers. Nikki and Bakara having to come through qualification. No main draw spot for them. 3 block touches in a row, but not a kill block on this occasion. Bakara poised and assured, puts it away in the corner. So yeah, nice battle. Don't see a lot between these two teams at the moment. Hard to see who's going to win this one.
We talk about how low ranked Bakara and Nikki are, but they're in fact Olympians as well themselves, both of them. So Nikki from the 2016 games. So they're only low ranked because they haven't been accumulating those points to get the higher ranking on paper. But on the court, they're very well matched.
Oh, gee. Kerry Walsh wanted to make Bakara pay there for digging that second ball over. She really wound up and the ball just catching the net and going out. So I think Bakara getting a little bit of the luck on that occasion, but she'll certainly take it. 6-all. They're going to play brave. They're going to play with freedom, the Aussie girls. They put no expectations on themselves coming into the weekend, and they went on to beat the number 4 seeds, the number 5 seeds. So they have absolutely been the wrecking ball in the women's draw.
And it's that serve from Bakara Palmer which has really been putting a lot of the teams under pressure. She's going from the middle of the court through the middle of the court. Strong flat float. We saw yesterday she taped, meaning the ball hit the tape many, many times. Another ace. Tough serve. No wind today, but the ball floats so well and she has so much momentum that she hits through that ball as well.
Australia 8-6. Yeah, what a good side change for
Great
them.
couple of points for Australia.
Yeah, if you look at the journey for Nicole Lead and Bakara Palmer, we talked about them having to come through the qualifiers. They lost to the number 2 seeds from Germany, but they beat the 15th seeds, the 12th seeds, the 4th seeds and the 5th seeds, and now they're in a semi-final up against the number 6 seeds. So, they've thrown that form line out the window. So they should be fearless out there today, and they're playing fearless as well. Nice moment, Kerry Walsh. I thought she was owning up to touching the ball, but
oh no, she was shaking her hands.
oh,
no,
okay.
I didn't touch that.
Oh, I'm sure. And generally, the athletes let the officials know, I'm sure, if they do touch it. So.
Trouble here for Nikki.
Brooke Sweat defensively right there, but the overpass might be a problem, and it is a problem. Nikki Laird waiting to dominate. And that competition above the net, Brooke Sweat at 5'8", and Nikki Laird at 6'3". It's going to be really hard for Brooke Sweat to outjoust the taller athlete. That ball well out of her range, but so we are ready to go again. Australia 9, USA 7. The fearless Australians. And only their second tournament together, it should be said, and they've obviously trained and played against each other a lot. As an individual, as you come into a new combination, if you've played against your partner, I mean, how do you make this chemistry happen as quickly and wonderfully as these two Aussie girls have?
I think they've just let it free flow. I mean, they've talked about, they've both enjoyed a lot of volleyball in their careers, but, at times it's been hard and they really wanted to come back and come together as a partnership and enjoy it. That's exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to feel the joy, they wanted to be competitive. They obviously love winning and they want to win, but they want to feel that joy, so they're letting it free flow.
Yeah, they seem pretty unconstrained, and they're not taking it too hard when they lose a point. They seem to be just, the enjoyment of the sport really seems to be there. We don't know what the future holds for Bakara Palmer and Nikki Laird. They keep saying they'll have a conversation and a cup of coffee about what they do next, if anything, after they lose their final match and then went on to win the following next 4 matches. So they've been delaying that cup of coffee. We all really want to know what they say, and Australian beach volleyball fans are going to be fascinated to see what becomes of this partnership in 2019. Back set is well read by the net touch. Yeah, no, Kerry was there, but she just reached in and touched the net. So
one thing Australia need to do in this game, I believe, is keep the ball, the set, a little bit further off the net than they used to. They've just played Japan, where they've pushed their sets really tight, so their attack is really tight over a shorter team. Now they're playing Kerry Walsh, 6'3" blocker, where they need to get around her. But then you've got Brooke Sweat in the back, digging anything that's a little bit, not perfect.
You're in a semi-final on the World Tour. It's not going to be easy, that's for sure. Well, here on Manly Beach, hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever in the world you are watching us. Such a delight to have the World Tour of Beach Volleyball here. Crowd starting to roll in on a Sunday morning. Tim Simmons up the back there, looking magnificent as always. Here's Manly at its absolute best. Just some of the locals hanging out in trees. This is Kerry's backyard. The shopping in the Queen Victoria building is magnificent, and that wonderful designed Opera House. Some of the wonderful landmarks of this city of Sydney, which you call home, Kerry, and I'm a little bit jelly about, I must admit.
Never gets boring catching the ferry from Manly into the city. Every time I leave to fly out somewhere, and I always enjoy coming back in, especially flying back in over the harbour and seeing the gorgeous sights of Sydney Harbour with the bridge. And some of the players, it's their first time down under, and they're really, really enjoying it. We always talk about how far away it is, but for me, it's just an extra movement.
It's one more move, that's it?
One more movie.
We are underway again. Australia versus the USA. Kerry Walsh-Jennings and Brooke Sweat at the bottom of the picture there, the USA combination up against the underdogs, Nicole Laird and Bakara Palmer from Australia's scoreboard. 12-10 in favour out of the technical timeout for the Aussies. So it's been nice and even. Neither team really being able to put the foot down. They're both still kind of finding their groove. Bakara Palmer reads well. The defence, a little sleight of hand there by Kerry Walsh.
Yeah, they're really testing that ball through the middle and aiming it, not worrying whether it goes to Brooke or Kerry. We've seen a lot of serves this weekend from a lot of teams. I was thinking that we're able to make points more on Brooke, but there's Bakara with the second ball, so she picks the right side. Gets Brooke off balance.
And that's all that experience, I guess. Bakara Palmer has played 72 FIVB World Tour events and has amassed a lot of experience out on the World Tour and knowing when to hit trouble shots like that nervelessly. So it's good to see they go to Brooke Sweat again. 13-11, Australia up by 2. They both pull in the same direction, but they're both there, so that's okay. Nikki will get a chance and absolutely executes. Unlike Kerry Walsh to be sort of caught in that no person's land, not short, not back, and that was uncharacteristic. But 14-11, the Aussies look good.
Well, the fact that they both dropped off the net in the same spot on Brooke then tells me they've been watching some video. They know what her favourite shots are. Keep her in the middle of the court a little bit more. They want the court to be smaller, so if you've got a smaller player, if you keep them in the middle of the court, sometimes they don't have the big angles to hit, and that forces them to make a shot. Perhaps that's their strategy. Kerry Walsh lining up to serve Nikki, looking to get a block.
And then goes left-handed, I think. What a wonderful combination play by Kerry Walsh-Jennings.
Well, she set herself up on that. The block went high in the air and she thought, I'll just hit it myself.
That's exactly where I wanted it, and I'll hit it away. So Brooke Sweat gets no assist, no statistic for that point. It was all Kerry. It's the only time in beach volleyball where you can touch the ball twice as if you're the blocker and you get that touch, you can then hit the next ball. A great illustration from the Olympian, the Olympic gold medalist, but there is another Olympian hitting the ball away. All four of them, of course, have been to the Olympic Games, and this is the start for many of these teams of an Olympic qualification journey.
Absolutely, they'll be accumulating points last year all the way through to Tokyo, and they'll take the best results, accumulate those points, and that will qualify them. So very important tournament for all these ladies. Great start for Nikki and Bakara.
Nice play from Brooke Sweat. (15-14) now the score. Oh, good hard-driven ball. That'll give plenty of confidence to Nikki Laird, really teeing off on that one.
Well, she's come out really fighting and hitting that ball hard. A couple of times both Kerry and Brooke have been on her hard hits but haven't been able to handle them, so that's great to see.
So 16-14, Australia with a tiny ascendancy, 2 points here. In the first set, you're watching semi-final number 1, the Manly 3-star FIVB Beach Volleyball event. And a little bit of net pressure from Nikki Laird makes it really interesting for the hometown fans. 17-14.
Well, that'll give the Aussies some confidence now. That's a lovely lead. That's a nice lead. We're only going to 21. All they need to do is side out a few times, maybe get another block. Good serve, pressure.
Of course, they hit Brooke Sweat again. They've been putting her under some pressure, as we've said. But the roll shot, the response from Brooke was absolutely perfect. So that's exactly what you want to do. If you've made that error on serve reception, Kerry, do you want the next serve to sort of prove yourself again, to take the momentum back?
Absolutely, absolutely.
15-17, Kerry Walsh-Jennings at the baseline. Once again going after Nikki Laird with the serve. Nikki's roll shot is too long, so no one's touched that ball. They always ask though, don't they?
Well, that's unfortunate. I haven't seen Nikki do a shot like that so far this tournament, in fact. She's been so confident, so great that they're having a timeout now. Just maybe a little bit of nerves, a little bit of maybe, wow, we're about to win this set. The thoughts go through your head and they can be distracting.
Maybe they're thinking of the cuisine here in Sydney, the wonderful seafood and the wine. Just a few shots of Kerry and I out last night enjoying a few of the restaurants. We had such a lovely time. It's a wonderful part of the world, the food, the landscape, the environment. It is a truly special part of the world. And your comment you made, Kerry, I always enjoy that. Our friends from America and our friends from Europe, when they come out to Australia for these events for the first time, always seem surprised. They're like, wow, it's so nice out here. We never knew.
Now, why haven't we been here before?
Look at that. That's your office, Kerry, for goodness sake. Come and see us. Come and join us in Australia, people. We would love you to come and join us.
And look, it's a shame that the skies aren't beautiful blue, which they normally are. But you know what? For beach volleyball, these are perfect conditions. Perfect conditions. There's not much sun. There's not much wind. The sand is pure. The sand is clean. It's really lovely to jump into.
Absolutely. So they go after Bakara, which is an interesting change-up. So I wonder if that was a skill error on the serve or that was a deliberate change. Nikki was starting to look a tiny bit wobbly on serve receive. Timeout called well by the Aussies. And they hit Bakara, the drop shot perfect, 18-16 Australia. That 2-point lead back again. So crucial part of this set, scoreboard 18-16 in favour of Australia. The roll shot, well done. Brooke Sweat under a bit of pressure, so they'll change on an 18-17 scoreboard. The athletes change the ends every 7 points just to make sure, whatever the weather conditions are doing, but as Kerry said, they are absolutely perfect. See the athletes, you know, not a lot of sunglasses being worn, no real glare to deal with, or the sun's starting to break through just as I say that, but it is postcard stuff here on Manly Beach. That's a set and a half. It's going to come back. What can Bakara do on transition? Oh, drops the shoulder a little bit.
Yeah, going for a little bit too much on that. The set was a little wide for her. She had to reach out to get that one. She won't be happy with herself, giving up a couple of points lead there.
Yeah, the USA electing not to block, and they weren't made to pay.
Oh, it's a great set from Bakara Palmer out of the net. Difficult play for her, puts it in such a sweet spot, and Nikki has a fantastic cross her body hit to the line.
Wow, and the bravery of teeing off on that ball at that point, that shows really good confidence from Nikki to say, you know, I'm going to go hard at this. So 19-18 in favour of the Aussies. This next point becomes quite crucial. A good serve sets up the Australians. Oh, it sets them up well indeed.
That's a big, big leave. Uncharacteristic from Kerry Walsh. There must have been a lot of float on that ball from Nikki Laird. But that was well and truly in.
Can you believe the underdog Aussies of 2018 in a semi-final have got 2 set points up against the number 6 seeds from the USA? What can Brooke Sweat do? Under pressure, Nikki gets it up. Here's an opportunity for a swing and a win. And she gets it done. And the underdogs from Australia, Nikki Laird and Bakara Palmer, have taken the first set in women's semi-final number 1.
Well, the crowd are really starting to fill in now this morning, and after that set, I'm sure they'll be telling their friends to come on down, get out of bed Sunday morning, grab your coffee and join us here, because we could be watching an absolutely historical match, perhaps a win for Nikki Laird on her home beach. Bakara Palmer, the new Australian team, up against one of the top teams in the world. And of course, the winner of this match goes through to the gold medal match. So, wow, wouldn't this be amazing? Now, these girls, I'm just saying it right now, they need to stay focused. They can't think we're ahead, we've won a set, we're doing well. They just need to reset now. Start of the game, start again, because they had that little lead at the end of the match, 17-14. They gave it up, but they got it back, and then they finished it off. So that'll give them the confidence.
Absolutely. And I talked to them after one of their earlier games. And I talked about them sort of capturing lightning in a bottle. That they haven't really trained much together. They don't have a long history of playing together. But they've come together and somehow they've gelled and found this combination that's really compelling, and they look nerveless out there against a really good team. In a semi-final, they seem completely unfazed by the situation and the opportunity. So we are underway, second semi-final, or set number 2 in semi-final number 1, I should say. Nikki Laird, Bakara Palmer, bottom of screen. The Aussie girls have taken the first set 21-18 over Brooke Sweat and Kerry Walsh-Jennings from the United States. I'm sure Kerry and Brooke will come back hard. They won't be letting this one get away. Going after Kerry on this occasion. Oh, Bakara's layout is excellent. It's going to have to come. That is unbelievable.
Nikki Laird's just got the ball on a string at the moment. No, normally those shots for her, or not normally, often those shots will just kind of be nice and easily dug, or they might spray out, but there's only been one play she's made in this entire match so far where she looks a little bit nervous, and that was that long ball that she shot out. But so far she is on her game, absolutely, and serving brilliantly.
Bakara once again just lurking down the line, gives a partner an opportunity, and gosh, they couldn't have started any better in the second set, a 3-0 scoreboard. Sun coming out now here at Manly Beach. The hometown sand, the hometown vibe for Nikki and Bakara. You know, Bakara now makes a home here in Sydney. They're a very friendly crowd. You know, there's a lot of love in the room. Urging the Aussie girls on. They started so brightly in the second. They started more brightly in the second with a tough serve. 4-0. Well, we thought Kerry and Brooke would come out hard. We thought they would come out more determined, but the Aussie girls have just not let them influence this second set in any way. The 4-0 scoreboard. Becomes 5.
Unbelievable serving from both the Aussie team. They're really consistent with their serving today too. Yesterday they made a lot of errors. They were going for the ball, they were risking, but making errors as well. Today they have not let the pressure off. They're just getting the serves in. They're tough, they're well placed through the middle. They're picking on Brooke on her sideline. They're going through the middle. Really, really tough serves to pass.
I put it to you, Kerry, if these two Aussie ladies can close this match out somehow and get through to the gold medal game, they must declare their intentions for Tokyo 2020. There you go. I'm just going to say it out loud. I'm going to be the first to say it. They cannot go through to the 3-star gold medal match and not put themselves on the path to an Olympic Games.
Look, I think they've already decided that. I think so far throughout this tournament that they're feeling how great their partnership is. Everybody's giving them the support now that they needed. They were looking for support, but they knew that they couldn't just ask for support. and get it without showing it. And they knew that this event was where they had to show that they are a team that, you know, is to be reckoned with. And in this game so far, 5-0 second set after winning the first set. Australia are looking very strong.
Good timeout call by Team USA. They just break that momentum. And again, but I'm looking a long way over the horizon. For these two ladies on centre court, the two Aussie girls, they just need to look at the horizon for the next point ahead of them. They, as you say, Kerry, can't get too far ahead of themselves. The next action, Bakara gets the serve.
Nice confident play now, easily hit off the side of Kerry's block. Exactly, and that's what these two really focus on, the Australian girls. They are going point by point. They are going game by game. They're not wanting to look too far ahead, to feel the stress or the pressure. They just want to play with that freedom and not feel that, I guess, the heavy pressure on their shoulders.
I interviewed Bakara Palmer after her match against the really good Japanese team. And it looked like they were going to win late in the last set. And I said, how were you feeling out there? And she said, I was working so hard not to burst into tears. I became really emotional. And I had to actually bottle it up because, you know, I had a match still to win. I mean, I think they're starting to appreciate that something special is within their reach here today. Bakara getting a block. Kerry, class down the line, tags the sideline. She needed that. Little confidence builder. Team USA, Brooke Sweat, Kerry Walsh-Jennings have absolutely had this match taken away from them so far in the second set. 3-6 they trail. This is Brooke Sweat serving. They've gone back to Nikki Laird. Blocking hands really good from Kerry Walsh. It'll be Bakara who gets another opportunity, misses. So just a couple of little moments there. The USA girls working back into this one.
That's the pressure of having Kerry Walsh at the net, thinking you have to do something extra to get it past. Don't put it past the two girls from the US. They'll be fighting to get back into this second set. They want it to go to 3 now.
And Kerry Walsh's influence is strong. The last 2 points, she hasn't got a kill block, but she's put the ball back into the opponent's court, created a little bit of doubt. That doubt's converted into points and scoreboard pressure, and that scoreboard pressure is converted into a timeout called by the Australians. So they were up 5-0 and 6-1, but the USA girls have shown some good poise.
It's so interesting seeing the momentum flip around. You have 5 points for Australia, then straight 5 points in a row back for the US. So both teams not really settling in well into their side-out game.
Beautiful scenes here. Welcome and hello wherever you're watching our broadcast. I hope you're enjoying the scenes here from the FIVB 3-star World Tour event here at beautiful Manly Beach. You're watching women's semi-final number 1. The number 31 seeds and qualifiers, Nikki Laird and Bakara Palmer, the Australian girls. They've won the first set. Up against the number 6 seeded team, Brooke Sweat and Kerry Walsh-Jennings from the United States. Ladies coming back out from a timeout called by the Australians. This is going to be Brooke Sweat with the ball, trailing by just the 1 now. So nice little comeback. Can the Aussies timeout help them turn the tide? Left-handed from Nikki Laird, it'll do. Wow, a little bit shaky, but it doesn't matter how you win the points. It's not a beauty pageant, it is a scoreboard. 7-5, Nikki will go back.
Still serving that ball through the middle at the Americans. Looking for the indecision, but this time Brooke Sweat takes it out over the top. She's got such beautiful shots. Shot selection is always pretty good. She gets a good call from her partner and just puts it where the defense isn't.
Yeah, really good job there. Aussie girls getting a little bit out of shape. They had a transition opportunity to overpass the ball back to the US, and that was pretty much all she wrote. So Bakara gets an opportunity to serve, receive. Kerry reads it well, peels back, gets the transition play and the roll shot perfect. So looks like Kerry is the one that stepped up and said, I'm going to take control. I'm going to stamp my DNA on this second set. And she's gone from a 5-0 deficit with her partner to now a 7-all scoreboard. So that wonderful start for Bakara and Nikki. has now been erased. They've got to kind of set their minds back to what worked well for them in the first set.
Big play from Australia. Nicely over the top, Nikki Laird. One thing you'll notice about the Australian girls is every time they switch sides, they actually switch sides, meaning Bakara's on the left when she's playing on one end of the beach, and then when they switch to the other end of the beach, she'll play on the right. So really difficult for the opposition to kind of keep track of how they're going to play defence.
I think Nikki's afraid of the water.
Doesn't like to get close to the water. She's on the land side.
All right, 8 points all. I think this second set's got a few more twists and turns. We certainly can't look too far ahead, that is for sure, when you're playing a team with the quality of Brooke Sweat and Kerry Walsh-Jennings from the USA. They are going to absolutely grind this one out. Nice variety. The last time Nikki went high line, late change this next time, high corner. So that's showing that her vision, and she seems to be clear-minded at the moment.
And her partner's giving her really good calls as well, which is really helpful, especially when you're looking up high at a ball to get a really good call from your partner. So here Brooke will give Kerry a call. Goes to the right, goes to the left side, but makes it short enough that Bakara can't get it.
Absolutely. See the flags just dancing lightly in the sea breeze here. A lot of that will affect the ball when it gets above the grandstand height, but really on court level there's really nothing to really affect the ball too much. It's really the ladies' skill and guile, and there's some guile from Kerry Walsh-Jennings with a good serve that gives them, for the first time in the second set, a lead on the scoreboard. They haven't seen a lead for a while, so that will give them plenty of confidence. 10-9 now, the USA up by 1. Kerry Walsh-Jennings back at the service line. Nikki Laird gets the serve. That ball sits up nicely and gets the treatment it deserved. Kerry Walsh is like, I could have got that.
Yeah, that's so annoying where you think you've got your hands on the ball, but the opposition just really sort of slice it past you. So with heat as well.
And I like the story within the story there. The younger Nikki Laird against the greatest beach volleyballer we've ever seen, and takes a block on, and that shows her state of mind is pretty confident at the moment. Well, there we go. Point for the Aussies. We'll go into the technical timeout. The lead wrestled back again. Gosh, this is some compelling beach volleyball. Women's semi-final number 1. A spot in the gold medal game, and Manly Beach awaits the winner. Look at this harbour.
It's glistening.
It is absolutely glistening. There's Kerry going to work each day in a speedboat. Yeah, I mean, that's as fantastic as it gets. It's a bit early for that, maybe, depending where you are in the world, but we toast you wherever you are, and we hope you're enjoying all the scenes. We are in semi-final number 1. It is the second set. The Australian girls, Nikki Laird and Bakara Palmer, won the first set 21-18, lead by the merest of margins, 11-10 in the second. My name is Jonathan Fogarty. I'm joined in commentary by the legend Kerry Pothast, but we're watching another legend in Kerry Walsh. Tell me about your careers. You guys intersected a little bit.
Yes.
I think in Athens.
Yes. Well, when
Beijing.
Yes. Yeah. Obviously, I retired briefly after 2000, and then made a comeback to Athens, and that's when Kerry Walsh and Misty May were really making their dominance heard on the World Tour. So Kerry Walsh, she's not a spring chicken. She's 40 years old, and she's had 3 children. And she's still getting out there and mixing it with women half her age, literally half her age, and dominating.
Oh, well, it's an interesting story, isn't it? You've said 6 shoulder surgeries. You know, the steely determination of the woman to just come back after 6 surgeries, for example, let alone the fact that she's raising 3 beautiful kids, and she's a wife and a business, and still coming out and earning absolute respect with her beach volleyball. So, she must be an incredibly steely-minded, determined lady to juggle all those incredible burdens.
And so very humble and so sweet to everybody off the court. You'll see after the game she goes and says thank you to all the ball handlers, every single official, and then she'll stop for a photograph or an autograph with every single person. Yeah. So real role model, great ambassador for the sport.
Absolutely.
Somebody all the young beach volleyballers should aspire to, especially the off-court demeanour.
Lucky enough to, after the Beijing gold medal that she won, to go out with her and her entourage, and she said, did I want to get a photo with her medal on? And my thoughts on that particular issue. I didn't put her gold medal on that she'd won that day, but it was a privilege to be part of that winning glow for just one of her gold medals. So scoreboard back to 13-12, Australia on the left of screen. Nicole Laird, local girl, went to the high school just up the road here, Kalara. This time it's Brooke Sweat taking her to school with that good roll shot. Of course, Bakara, an Adelaide girl, a little bit to the west of here, if you don't know the Australian geography. It's 13 all. Bakara back sets beautifully. But no, Brooks right there. Here's their opportunity. What can Kerry do with the transition ball? And they're a little bit out of shape, the Aussies, looking at each other.
That's great experience from Brooke Sweat. You know, we talk a lot about Kerry, but we shouldn't forget Brooke. She's doing a lot of work. She's 50% of that team. And, in fact, she's already won a couple of gold medals on World Tour events. She's played with an array of amazing US players. And, of course, Kerry's chosen her to take this journey now through to Tokyo. And she was, of course, an Olympian in 2016 with Lauren Fenwick. So Brooke Sweat as well has a very distinguished career.
All right, 14 all in the second set. This starts to get tense. This starts to get interesting. You're in a semi-final. If you're Nikki and Bakara, you've already got one set on the board, but you've got no combined history of how to close out a match like this. You've not played in this situation together before. They've both won medals on the World Tour. That ball's going to the USA. Did land out, but it touched the blocker on the way through. Bakara, of course, was the under-18-19 world champion back in 2006, and Nikki won the under-23 world championship. So, you know, as juniors, they were both remarkable. Here's the opportunity. Oh, Bakara working really hard, but getting out of shape. So it's been a while for Bakara to be on a podium. So her best back in 2009, she got a second place in Star Jablonski. So, you know, that's 10 years since she stood on a podium in the World Tour. So her muscle memory may not be that current in terms of how to get through these situations, but she's going to fight hard.
Well, I'm sure she's got the hunger. Both Nikki and Bakara have the hunger. They've got the crowd behind them. They're looking down the barrel now. There's a 2-point lead at this point of the match. It was in the first set. This is where Australia had the lead. Now the US have the lead. Can Australia come back and close it out, or can the US push this to a third set?
16-14 the scoreboard, so the US enjoying a little 2-point break now. So a little danger time for the Aussies. Can they dig deep, maybe use some of that crowd support? The steely-eyed Kerry Walsh-Jennings at the service line. Perfect, absolutely perfect. And the swagger and the fist pump tells you that she's exactly where she wants to be.
Well, Bakara Palmer has such an array of skill. She's got an amazing hard spike. She can hit line hard, cross hard. She's got all the shots, left, right, over the block. And let's see what Brooke Sweat can bring now through the middle. Her favourite little shot to the left. Bakara moved quite early in defence that time and left that part of the court wide open.
So 17-15 now. Brooke Sweat for Team USA back to the service line. They're going to search out Nikki Laird on the serve. They certainly do. Ball sets up well. There's no block. So that no one call, they've done that a couple of times on Nikki. I think, people underestimate the quality of Bakara Palmer's setting, I reckon, and that ball really sat up to be hit, and it was hit well.
Perhaps they're looking for an error from Nikki, a nerve error, or perhaps just an easy dig, but she's not going to give it to them, not just yet.
A tough serve. This is going to put USA under a bit of pressure, but Kerry Walsh does enough with the ball. Gosh, just for a moment the Aussies thought they had an opportunity, but Kerry Walsh closed it pretty quickly. So 18-16. We're starting to get into the very tense phase of this second set. The Aussies win this set, they go to the gold medal game. The US win this set, they take it to 3, and then it's a complete reset. Who has got the nerves to execute? So far, Nikki's been pretty good.
It's good to see Nikki swinging hard and high. That's her strength. That's what she's going to. She needs to keep that up if they've got a chance here to get to 21 first.
17-18 on the side change. Bakara Palmer going up to the northern end of the beach. The breeze doesn't really indicate any huge favouritism one side of the court to the other. Tough serve here is absolutely required for the Aussies. Still in play. Don't celebrate too early against Kerry Walsh. Here's their transition opportunity. Oh, Kerry was immense on that play. Yeah, and gets it done. Wow, the Aussies, that was the moment. That was their opportunity. And Kerry's absolute class and quality kept her team in a point that arguably they shouldn't have been in. 19-17.
It's that never say die attitude. I hate to think that that was the point that sealed the deal. Let's see what the Americans can do here. Tough serve.
Just something about Bakara under pressure, though. She's been there, she's done that, she bought the T-shirt, she hit the winner. 18-19.
Yes, I've never really seen Bakara afraid of a big moment. She has no fear when it comes to using her skills. She looks incredibly focused.
Well, to say this is maybe the biggest point of the tournament for the two Aussie girls, I don't think is an understatement. Can they lock it up at 19, or are they going to give a set point to the USA to invite them back into this match? The roll shot's absolutely perfect. Brooke Sweat's been a quiet achiever in this second set. She's done everything that's been asked of her, and she has got that important point. 20-18. So Kerry Walsh-Jennings in the second set, women's semi-final, #1 here at Manly Beach, is serving to take the second set. And she gets it done, so we are going to 3. Well, how about that? USA were down 5-love at the start of this second set, and the Australian girls looked like they were flying. But 21-18, they have come back, and they've come back hard, Team USA, and all credit to them. Brooke Sweat, Kerry Walsh-Jennings showed no signs of panic, and we're going to go to a third set to decide who will go to the gold medal match here at Manly Beach. Well, tense and nervous times here at Manly Beach for the Australian fans anyway. Their girls were flying in that second set, but the USA showed their experience, showed their class, and have hit back. And we have a 1-set-all scoreboard, so it is now coming down to a third and deciding set. The first team to 15 points with a 2-point margin goes to the gold medal game.
Well, looking at the stats of both teams in 3-setters for this event, Nikki and Bakara from Australia, they've had 3 3-setters. They've won 2 out of the 3. The US girls, Kerry and Brooke, have had 2 3-setters, and they've won 1 and lost 1.
Interesting. And, of course, for Nikki and Bakara, they played the Australian Championships last weekend and played a lot of games. So at what point does fatigue, both mental and physical, perhaps start playing a part? We will soon see. A good start by Nikki Laird, though. Just a little roll shot on the line, and that'll do. So 1-0. Oh, and then an ace to back it up. Well, they've certainly started sets well, the Aussie girls, and they've continued that tradition. 2-0.
It's been a lot of big momentum shifts in this entire match where you think one team's got it home and hosed, and then the other team just comes right back at them.
She has an uncanny knack of just finding an ace when her team really needs it, Bakara Palmer, whether a ball that hits the net and dribbles over or that one that catches the baseline. But Kerry Walsh swings high and true. Executes that skill very nicely. So 1-2, the USA. And only their 4th tournament together, it must be said, but they've already been on the podium once, a bronze medal. Australia under pressure here. It's going to have to be a pretty simple ball. Australian combination losing their shape, but they may not have to pay too high a price. That ball right there to be hit. Oh, Brooke Sweat was massive in defence. But a free ball's going to have to come. Can you believe what just happened? Australia had no right to still be in the point. It was given back to them on a right there platter. Oh, Brooke Sweat was massive. Brooke Sweat's defence was amazing, and then this dig has no right to be a stone-cold winner. That is a mental error, big time by the Aussie girls. 2 points apiece now. We're all locked up. Serve goes out. So 3 points to 2 Australia. On the side change, the Aussies have a 1 point lead. So Bakara and Nikki will come down to the southern end of Manly Beach. It's going to be Nikki Laird. And those little opportunities, those balls that just land in like that, they are the margin carry between success and failure in a third set, aren't they?
Just like that. Just like that.
Do you mind?
Wow, both teams really feeling it out here now, leaving balls that shouldn't be left, hitting some incredible winners. Nikki Laird, what can she do? Right back at Brooke Sweat. Looking for a touch here, Bakara Palmer. Finds the line, but Kerry's there. And Australia get the block. Looking so focused, Nikki Laird. It's just another point.
And
not getting, sorry, John, they're not getting too excited, which is good to see. They're not over celebrating. They're just doing the job. I'm sure it's fatigue as well. They don't want to expend too much extra energy. They have played 2 extra games in this event because they came through the qualifier.
Yeah, what an amazing story this is. Even at this point, 6-2, my goodness. The team that's come through the qualifier, the team that's been playing hard for 2 weeks in a row, seems to be the mentally fresh one in the third set. It's quite unbelievable, and they will force Team USA into a timeout as the scoreboard ticks over now. 6-2 in favour of the Aussies. Again, we're only going to 15. I wonder if in the second set, Nikki and Bakara at 5-0 up started to look a little bit too far ahead. I don't think they'll make the same mistake twice.
I don't think they will either, and I think for me the difference between the two teams now is the serve pressure. It's got to be said. Every time Nikki and Bakara have got a run on the board, have got themselves back into the set or into the match, it's been through some of their tough serving. And they're consistent siding out. Like, they're siding out, they're not making errors on their side out, so they just need to kind of keep doing what they're doing, not do anything different, not do anything extra, and what they're doing is working well. Whereas Kerry and Brooke, they need to find something, they need to dial up their serves. They've had some serve success as well. They need to dial those up. Kerry needs to get a couple of blocks, Brooke some digs, to get them back into this third set.
All right, Nikki Laird starts it up again out of the timeout. They go to Kerry. Opportunity for Kerry to do something magical, and she really does. She goes down hard.
And that's good to see Kerry swinging like that again after all those shoulder injuries. That is not an easy hit to do, inside out with speed. Nicole Laird looking for a touch. No touch.
They can't believe it. Kerry says, I didn't touch it. So shake it off, ladies. A little hand slap. Maybe a few words. Just welcome to Sydney, I'm sure, from Nikki to Kerry.
I think maybe Kerry said, I didn't touch it. I kind of believe it, but I kind of don't as well. Would you give it up if it touched your fingernail at this point?
At this level, it's all about letting people do their jobs. Your job is to win the match. The official's job is to call the ball. That's the mindset I suspect they probably have. Nikki responds, and that's a really big moment because Nikki was grumpy and out of sorts, and she could have come and spat the dummy.
Oh, and she's got her arms in the air looking at the referee, so she's got a little bit of determination.
She's got a dander up. That's what she's got. So let's make sure she channels it in the right way. That's a tough serve. Bakara has done something special from the service line.
And the Aussies are really working that middle so well. Bakara is standing in the middle, driving it through the middle. They're not scared if Kerry takes the ball. They're putting the pressure on the Americans, point for point for point.
8-4 the scoreboard. This is starting to get fascinating. That's a shame for the Australian team. The USA won't be pleased or displeased about that at all. It sends Kerry Walsh back 5-8. racing to 15. One spot in the gold medal game available for the winner of this match. Semi-final number 1. I hope you're enjoying the coverage from Sydney. Nice net pressure again from Kerry. Bakara gets a chance to hit a trouble shot. She pretty much owns that here in Sydney. In this court, in this moment, Bakara Palmer is 21 again and playing some of the best volleyball of her life. It is an absolute delight to see how well Bakara Palmer is playing. They go to a 9-5 scoreboard. Nikki again serves. Kerry. She wants to take on the veteran. Bakara's there. What's Bakara going to do this time? She's going to get blocked by Kerry Walsh. Nice response from her P1440 partner from just the other day. They played together in California. Stakes are a little higher this time round.
Just a little, because we talked about it earlier, and obviously there's points on the line here. Points, valuable points to get through to the Olympic Games next year. And everyone wants them. Nikki just a little bit too long that time. She'll need to reset, not worry too much about that ball.
Yeah, timeout call. That's smart. After the US called their timeout, they've been going Brooke, Brooke, Brooke. She'd made a couple of errors. It was an ace. They came out of the timeout that the US called and put the next couple of balls at Kerry, and that's turned into maybe a few less errors than they'd seen before that. I wonder about inviting someone of the quality of Kerry Walsh into the game by giving the ball to her in as many opportunities as possible.
Well, I think it's about them just putting the pressure on the ball through the middle, and sometimes Brooke's able to get it, sometimes Kerry's able to get it, and it's taking away the angles of the attack as well. You put Kerry on the outside, you serve her to her sideline, you put her outside the court. She's got such a big angle, she sees the court well, she can go over the top of the block, she can, dink it short. She's got such good vision. In the middle, it makes Nikki a bigger blocker, and she can grab some more angles and perhaps get a block. And the same with Brooke, it takes away her big hits.
Beautiful scenes here at Manly Beach. The waves are rolling in, the crowd is rolling in, and they've been treated to a wonderful women's semi-final number 1, USA versus Australia. It is delicately poised right now. Nikki Laird's under service pressure. She's going to have to do something mighty. Of course, Kerry's there. She executes better than most in these situations.
She saw that. Kerry was going to make sure 100% that ball was going to be landing in the sand. She had a big look, waited to see where Bakara was, and just put it away.
Still only catches the line, though. Inch perfect, it should be said. That's a wonderful clutch play from Kerry Walsh-Jennings.
That's a better pass from Nikki Laird.
Wow, that's uncharacteristic. The absolutely rock-solid setting hands of Bakara Palmer. Called for a double hit. It was pretty dusty out of the hands.
Little lapse of concentration there.
So 9-all, we're locked up again. Great comeback again.
Straight back to the hands. Gets a good touch. Nikki Laird able to just get it past a whisker of Kerry Walsh's block. The Aussies still in the lead. Crowd's getting pretty vocal now.
They are indeed. It's just been so compelling. Seat of the pants stuff, or edge of the seat stuff here for the Aussie crowd here in Manly today. Oh, and what a time for Nikki Laird to rediscover her blocking prowess for an 11-9 scoreboard.
That was a big point for Australia. Great strong hands from Nikki Laird. That'll give us some confidence. If she gets an opportunity to hit a ball away, I'm pretty sure that block will give her the confidence to win the point.
What money if they hit Brooke Sweat with this serve that maybe Kerry looks for a second ball over. Pay close attention to what the veteran from the USA does. She's not going to be able to put anything on that one, so opportunity for Australia. And Brooke can't get it done, so wow, 12-9. You've got to hit Brooke with the serve now. Surely all the pressure is on her shoulders.
Yeah, and it's the serve. It's not just putting the ball into her hands. It's actually making it a hard serve, which Bakara has not stopped doing. Hard, flat, and it just moves so much in the air.
Asking lots of questions, but no, Kerry Walsh sees it.
Trouble pass, though.
But no trouble at all for a lady of her quality. You just keep inviting her to express herself at the highest order, and she does it magnificently. So 10-12. Gee, there's a few twists and turns still left in semi-final number 1, that is for sure. Hand set perfect on this occasion from Bakara Palmer. She's like, all day, I could set that butter all day. 13-10. They have to stay in the here, they have to stay in the now. The Australian combination of Nikki Laird and Bakara Palmer. This next point is all they need to focus on. Can't get it done. 11-13. USA. Brooke Sweat, Kerry Walsh-Jennings. Probably in their power position with Kerry already at the net, Brooke already in the defensive position from the serve. So this is their best setup, in my view, to create some pressure on the Aussies. No one is the call. Gosh, that is the sweetest sound in beach volleyball, Kerry, isn't it?
It is. As a spiker, when you hear no one, you know that you just drive it high, hard, through the middle.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, can you believe it? Semi-final number 1, the wrecking ball, the qualifiers, the 31 seeds, Nicole Laird and Bakara Palmer, in only their second tournament together, have 3 match points for a spot in the semi-final. Bakara is enjoying herself so much out there. She doesn't want it to end just yet. She'd rather end it on a serve-receive. They've got to focus, though, the crowd willing them. They are on the edge of history here. They are on the verge of doing something quite special. Kerry Walsh-Jennings and Brooke Sweat have to do something special themselves. It's going to be Nikki Laird finishing it with the most unlikely play that you can imagine. The stone-cold shank brings up a match point, and the Australian fairy tale continues. The unheralded, the unfashionable, the unknown. Nikki Laird and Bakara Palmer have shocked the volleyball world at Manly Beach, and they're going to the gold medal game.
Well, the crowd is absolutely delighted by this first match here. And look at these two. They're absolutely delighted. They're loving every single minute of it. They're doing what they said they wanted to do. They wanted to come out and play with no pressure, just with joy. They wanted to enjoy each other. They wanted to enjoy their game. And how enjoyable that is to see them make the gold medal match. Australia, USA, 21-18, 18-21, 15-12. In a moment, we'll be right back with some interviews with the girls.
Down here with the 2 most unlikely underdogs you ever did see. They played all last weekend in the Oz Championships, played about 1,000 games. We respect their volleyball so much we made them play in the qualifier just to get into the main draw of this event. You were seeded 31, Bakara Palmer. You beat the number 4 seeds, the number 5 seeds, the number 6 seeds. You haven't been in a gold medal match on the World Tour for 10 years. What the hell is going on, lady?
I don't know. Shit, when you say it like that, sorry.
We'll edit that out later.
Yeah, this isn't live, is it? No. Yeah, my gosh, I'm kind of a bit shocked, to be honest. I think there were so many times out on court that when I was looking at Nikki and I was like, holy moly, who is this freak? Where has she been? I'm so glad that she's on my side of the court and that we get to play again today.
Do you appreciate that you've beaten the best beach volleyballer the world has ever seen on your own sand? You guys were so fearless out there. You played with a freedom. You're like a 21-year-old again.
Yeah, look, massive respect. I think Kerry is obviously an incredible player, but she's an incredible human, and to come out here and play her, and you know, she is as fearless as what we had to be to come out and play well. So mad respect to her, and I hope to see her on the podium.
Nikki Laird, you've dragged this lady out of retirement. No one wanted to play with you. You had to go and recycle some old, you know, previous former athlete. You're a bloody genius, woman.
Oh, what can you say? Some diamonds, they come from the rough. This one came from the retirement, the depth of retirement. But I'm really grateful that she, you know, engaged in a conversation with me about it, and not only that, was super eager and as committed as she could possibly be to the process. And you know, I think it pays off. Here we are.
Playing for a gold medal on the World Tour. My goodness, in front of your home crowd, does that help? Are you just zone away? You look really solid out there. You guys just look like nothing scares you anymore.
I think that, I don't know, we kind of had a conversation this morning where we both sort of said we're done being surprised when we do good things. I think it's not surprising anymore. We're like, oh yeah, we did that a few days ago, we did it yesterday, we did it this morning, so yeah, we did it a week ago. Like, I think for us, the trust has been built through some real strong commitment to what we're going out and doing, and I think like there is no better place to play volleyball than Manly Beach. This is home for both of us now. The friends and the family and just the local crowd. You guys, your energy is the difference. It is the difference between a 15-13 win or loss.
Ladies, you've won 4 more games than you were supposed to. Can you win one more?
Absolutely we can.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to see these girls win one more game this weekend? I give you your finalists, Bakara Palmer, Nikki Laird. They're going to the gold medal game.
Featuring China and USA just over 5 minutes to game time. Wow.